is Amy Pauszek. I'm here with Everfield Productions. We are here with the Heartland closing night of the book thief, a wonderful adaptation of a 580-page novel, best-selling novel. And here we are with the cast and crew of the book thief at the Heartland closing night. We're here with Julie Eason. She is here with the Heartland Film Festival. Julie has been a great help with the closing night and the opening night. Julie, tell us about Heartland and why you're here.
Heartland is a great Midwestern film festival that I actually traveled all the way from Atlanta, Georgia to come help this year. I worked on staff in 2010 and just have a passion for it, and has 134 great films this year, and what else can you say?
We're so lucky to have Julie be a part of our team. So Julie, we'll see you at the movies.
All right, see you soon.
What was that one thing that grabbed you and you said, I've got to produce this, this is it? Is there something that hit you?
I think for both Ken Blancato and myself, he produced the film with me, it was really this story told from the point of view of death and the whole journey of life and the power of word. Those would be the elements that stuck with us. But everyone should know that when we read the manuscript, it was to read, not as a potential film project. And we just couldn't get it out of our systems because you cried, you laughed, and you loved these characters. And I think the hardest thing for us was taking this magical 600 pages that Marcus had written and entrusted us with and figuring out what wasn't going to make it on the screen. And it's been a terrific collaboration, and the 8 years it took 8 years, but it's been so worth it. And I do believe that this will be a film, as does Ken, that will live on, and that it is timeless. What's also important is, while there's a real reality there, it's got a fabulistic quality to it. Someone reads a book because they saw this movie, we will have succeeded.
What was it that grabbed you, and how hard was it for you to take, knowing in the back of your mind, that was all there, but pick the key points to make this such a brilliant film?
The key points, I was sent a screenplay, and some of those decisions had already been made. There were some things in discussions that we added and some things we took away. But really, the bizarre thing is I've done quite a few adaptations now, Shakespeare and Dickens and all those things in England. But to have a book, a 580-page, if you like, Bible or document, which if we've got a question about anything, we'll just go and look about page 347 in the book. And actually, Hans was thinking this. So it's a wonderful thing to do an adaptation because you really have this, you have a guidebook to get you through everything. And it goes in far more depth than a 120-page script ever can. So we use that a lot, and it's always, it was all of our intentions was really to bring Marcus's novel faithfully to the screen. There was nothing we wanted to change. His concept and his belief and the way that he wrote that moved so many people around the world. We just wanted to do that justice. We didn't want to change anything or alter anything if we could. So it was just a choice about choosing the best bits and still keeping that story strand going through, still keeping the narrative and still keeping the beauty of the characters. And I got a really lovely email of Marcus yesterday, so I believe he's very pleased. So that makes me incredibly pleased.
Well, that's so touching. I actually got to see a sneak preview of the film. I was telling a friend, I love the scene with the snowball.
Well, that was a scene that wasn't in the original screenplay. And we were chatting, we were talking, Geoffrey and I, many times during the shoot. And he said, there's a great scene, just the snowman scene was in it. There's a great scene where they just have the snowball fight. And we've got to do it. So we just made time in the schedule and we did it. And it's just you think the people in the absolute worst times, they need some sort of release. I didn't want to drag everybody down. That the beauty of this film and the beauty of what Marcus did was to have these wonderful characters, and we got to see them have fun, because that's what people do. That's the spirit that keeps them going.
Hi, I'm Amy, and I'm with Heartland Social Media and Ever Productions. And I saw the movie, and I loved you in it.
Seriously, the snowball fight is my favorite scene. It was just so fun to shoot, and I mean, it's not a scene which is in the book, but when you do it, everybody on set everybody was just more happy, and I think all these little funny scenes like the accountant scene, which makes you laugh, and I think the whole movie, I mean, at the end, I hope that people are not as scared as death, because it's not a scary thing. And I think even if there's a lot of characters that die, obviously, it's still, you just feel so much love for the characters, and the whole story is uplifting, I think.
You were just absolutely fabulous in it. And I kind of heard that you had a little sidekick friend that was kind of fun to be in it. Was that nice to have somebody your same age kind of hang around with?
Totally, because it was so much fun working with Geoffrey and Emily, but sometimes you need someone that's more your age, because sometimes you just need someone that understands you. And sometimes I would shoot and I would have long shooting days, but Nico was so much fun, and he would just be there always. If I was tired, he would make jokes all the time, and he would he would just make some jokes all the time, and I had so much fun with him, and he's like my little brother. He was like part of my family.
And who are you wearing on the red carpet?
Tory Burch. Is that something?
Lovely. Can you?
I read it like 5 minutes ago. Who it was? It's Tory Burch. Yeah, it is Tory Burch. Yeah, it is. All my outfit, like the shoes, the pants, and everything is Tory Burch.
I love it.
Thank you.
Well, hi, I'm Amy. So nice to meet you. I'm here with Ever Productions and Real Scene. You are known for such wonderful, kind of outspoken, great loud roles. Is there any time in the film that you wanted to pull out one of those other characters from, like, say, Pirates of Caravans or anybody and just, like, yell at the SS?
That's what attracted me to the role, that I knew on my CV, and I just recently in theatre, I'd played Lady Bracknell, and I just did a funny thing happened on the way to the Forum where I was playing Pseudolus, very burlesque, very full of pratfalls, big comedy. I've got a lot of flamboyant eccentrics in some of the roles I've done in cinema. So when I read the screenplay and then subsequently the book, it was the ordinariness of Hans, a house painter, nondescript, average Joe from a small German town. That's what appealed. And the fact that in the course of the film you discover he has a very strong inner life. He has an emotional intelligence. He's not necessarily an intellectual man, but he reads his new foster child with a great deal of warmth and empathy, and can introduce music as a way of, like the accordion for me, I don't know, I play maybe 6 songs in the film. I thought they're my monologues. You know what I mean? I don't need words. The music will express something. I said to Brian, which wasn't in the script, there was one great moment in the book where I just yell at Rosa. I said, I've got to be outside the house drinking schnapps and telling her to shut up. Emily and I were very conscious about making the dynamics of our marriage just real and recognizable. Like when she hits me over the head and it's like, I know what you're doing, don't laugh at me. Life's tough, we're poor, get real. The snowman scene was written into the screenplay and we all had a chat, and I said, seemingly it's not helping the plot in any way, and it's probably the first thing that will go in the edit. But then we realized, actually, no, it is part of the plot, because it's the generosity of Liesl wanting to show Max something as simple as snow from the outside world, to go, there's a real life out there, And then, of course, Hans, like a big 10-year-old kid, helps sneak more in, And then they end up having a fight, and even Rosa kind of joins in. So it was one of those little dynamics where you thought people do have, even in the most oppressive time, there can be a release. I used to read a lot about the First World War when I was a teenager, and I loved hearing stories about, despite the disease and the mess of being in water, disease-ridden trenches. Like, there was a famous Christmas, I think 1916, where the Germans and the UK soldiers all got together and traded schnapps, sang songs, played football. That's humanity, you know.
Yes. Well, thank you so very much, and thank you for bringing your film here. Thank you so much. And I was so amazed, This is Amy Pauszek. I'm here with Ever Film Productions. See you at the movies.